Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, kind of looking forward to this one because we'll have a good guest on tonight that I didn't know personally before. So it's gonna be good to actually talk to him and see what he has to say about our market and his breeding and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, guys. Let me know if you're here. Let me know if you're watching. Leave your comments in the comment section. Hit that like button. Make sure this gets out to as many people as possible. And yeah, let's get into it, guys. If you're like me and you live and breed reptiles, we aren't here for the clicks or the viral trends. We're here for the true passion. Yeah, and basically, I started this show because I wanted a place for the real keepers and the dedicated breeders to finally have a community within Europe where we can talk shop, share tips, tricks, and dive deep into the hobby that we love. We're doing it with one single goal, which is sharing the passion that drives us. Every week, we sit down with some of the biggest legends in the game and some of the newest up and coming prospects. My name is Roger with Pappy's Premium Pythons, and this is Pappy's Premium Pod. So, news for you guys, in case you weren't here last week. Pappy's Premium Pod is now sponsored by ProHerper, the European leader in reptile genetics, specializing in sex identification, generic verification, and pretty soon disease testing too. Join the global hashtag Breed Different movement right now. Get the best value for your money and start testing with ProHerper today to verify your reptile's genetic potential and maximize your collection's value. ProHerper is known for their fast turnaround times, high quality tests, and European wide accepted certificates. Check out proherper.com. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're heading to the far north, to a place where the landscape is rugged, the winters are legendary, and the standards for herpetoculture are second to none. Breeding world-class tropical animals in the heart of Scandinavia isn't just a hobby, it's a masterclass in precision, environment control, and pure dedication. Our guest tonight has spent years proving that geographic boundaries do not define quality. He has built a brand that is a beacon for the entire Nordic community, and a powerhouse on the European stage. Ladies and gentlemen, known for his meticulous attention to detail and some of the cleanest projects in the game, joining us straight from Sweden, help me welcome the man behind High Coast Reptiles, Mats. Welcome.
Hey guys.
Good evening, Mats. What's up, man?
Hey man. It's all good. Excited for this.
Very good. Yeah, you were telling me how cold it is out there, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, you get used to it. So like -10 is pretty comfortable when it's been like 35 minus. That's
Yeah, that's
it's
insane.
all about like perspective.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, let's get started with this. Like I said, I didn't know you before. Well, technically, I don't really know you. It takes a long time to actually get to know someone. But yeah, introduce yourself for the people who are out there that don't know who you are, what you do, how you started breathing, that kind of stuff. The stage is yours. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So I started probably like most others, like with a interest of like reptiles and insects or whatever. But up here, in the north, there's like nothing out in the wild. We have like one snake species and not much else to find. And when I grew up, we didn't have internet or whatever, so I had to look at books and like snake pictures and everything. But eventually, I started to go to a school for reptiles or like exotic animals, like when I was 15 to 18, 19. So that probably one thing that I have different from most other breeders. I actually have some kind of education in this, like, the area of which I'm like now working. So from like school, I kept snakes pretty much ever since.
So sorry, just to the back of that, was it like you said you went to school for exotic animals and stuff? Was it like more like the biology side or more like veterinarian kind of side of things?
So mostly like how you should care for them.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I'm like, certified to work at the zoo or like stuff like that. Work with
Right.
exotic
Yeah.
animals. Yeah, and to breed like a business in Sweden, you need to have those educations to do it legally.
Oh, okay. To be a breeder, you basically need to be a zookeeper, right?
Yeah. So you need a special education for every species you like breed or keep, regardless if you're working at like a pet shop or uh, like a zoo or whatever.
I imagine having a pet shop then must be a nightmare, right? You need
Yes,
to be
because the
specialized in
rules,
everything.
yeah, if you have visitors, it's even harder rules. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, pretty
yeah,
cool.
so,
And how did that
so
go?
yes, from there, it's only expanded and got more and more serious. Eventually, I had to make it like an official business, to do everything the right way and sleep good at night.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
started I
interesting.
started with all kinds of reptiles, like I said, from pretty much 15 years old. But only mainly interested of snakes from the beginning. And started with like a few pythons and boas, and then went into venomous. So I kept venomous for a long time, and then got like boring or whatever. So find ball pythons. Had my first clutch in like early 2000, 2001 maybe,
Okay.
and
What was
from
that? Just
yeah,
curiosity.
normals, yeah, normals,
Just normals. Okay.
yeah.
Did you
And
know about the morphs and stuff back then?
yeah, I had seen a pied. I don't know if it was shortly after the first clutch or like in that time frame, but that was like
Okay.
couldn't imagine owning something like that.
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, but so eventually I like stopped. Used to breed chondros and emeralds and
Right.
jungle carpet pythons and everything, but it got boring and the morph thing with ball pythons is like more
Yeah.
versatile. So I just
Exciting.
yeah, I shifted to that and just yeah, did it the best I could.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
hmm
Yeah. So, I mean, I want to kind of get into I mean, obviously I didn't know you specifically, but I found you on just Morph Market search when I was initially looking at certain combos and stuff. Because you were, well, I thought you were already quite far ahead of everyone else at the time. And yeah, from there, obviously, I started following you on social media and stuff like that. But I think for me, one of the highlights was a few years ago, actually, maybe 3 years ago now, you featured on one of Justin's video.
hmm
Canova, Justin
Yeah.
from Canova, he actually, obviously, if you're in ball pythons, you have to kind of look up to this guy, Justin, and what he's done and
hmm
what he's doing. So then, like for him to come to your place and shoot a video, there, in my opinion, that's huge. How did that come about?
Um, yeah, how did that come about? I think uh, I known Justin for a lot of years, long time, and I think are very compatible with each other, like in a personal, in our energy and whatever. So we get along very good, you know. And from the first time we met in person, he kind of asked if we wanted to come with him to on a family vacation because we both have kids and like similar ages and everything.
Mhm.
So I took him up on that and flew over to Wyoming and to Yellowstone and that, and spent time with their family over there, and then flew down to Atlanta and spent some time at their home, you know, a couple of weeks. From
Nice.
there, we've just been like good friends. I think was it 1 year after maybe they flew over to visit us in Sweden, and we drove to Norway and
Yeah.
like just had some fun vacation stuff. So he insisted on making a video while they visited, you know, and you know, it's super uncomfortable and everything. But you know, if he insists, you know, who I need to, yeah, okay, yeah, let's do it. What's super rush? We're gonna pick up the kids from school and then start driving to Norway and everything. So we just threw something together like in 30 minutes.
No, but it was awesome, man. It was pretty cool. So one of the things I took from that video was the fact that I was, all of us are basically, or most of us are breeding using rack systems and stuff, but you're not allowed to do that, if I'm not mistaken. So you're having to keep all your ball pythons in Bavaria or terrariums, whatever
So yeah,
you want to call them, yeah?
yeah, yeah.
So that's part of the legislation, right? In Sweden, they're
Yes.
very strict when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so you know, it's not the rack system that's the problem, it's the dimension of the tubs. So if you had tubs big enough, you could keep them in racks. Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know what they would say about lightning. Probably they need some like light because they, yeah, the day and night rhythm, you know. But so, and for like hatchlings and stuff, you can keep them in big enough tubs.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I don't know, it's you get used to keeping them in terrariums. You know, I used to keep all the other snakes in terrariums and, you know, jungle carpet in
Hmm.
terrariums. It's like it's a python.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
it is what it is. You can't feed enough. No, not in the same quantity and the same, you know, space. You know, but
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because so yeah, your collection then you automatically have to go. I mean, I think everybody should be doing that anyway, but you have to go quality over quantity, right? Because you
hmm
can't keep a lot of them, so you're very selective about what you keep. Is that right?
yeah, that's a good thing in a way because you're forced to really focus on what you really need.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like, oh, let me pair those, I don't know, those two Belgian animals just to have a couple bell clutches, so I can, sell them as pets or something. That's kind of a waste of space, right? For you. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
but you know,
that's interesting.
one weird thing about the rules with the terrariums and everything is that, you know, a mother with her babies counts as one unit as long as the up till maturity for the sexual maturity for the babies. So if I'm
Boy.
not doing it, but if I wanted to, I could keep a mom and all her babies in one terrarium. It's like it
Okay,
makes
that's
no
crazy.
sense. Yeah, that makes no sense
Exactly.
at all.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
rules are like incentive for keeping them together rather than separate.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
So it's
okay.
not
I thought they
always
were
like it
doing it
doesn't make
right, but
sense
they're not
always.
doing it right. Yeah, typical governments, right? They don't know
hmm
anything about the animals. Um, cool, man. So, yeah, we were talking about Sweden, being very cold and stuff. How does the climate over there, affect your, the cycle of the animals? Like, do you find that the natural pressure, shifts in the north give you an advantage, or is it more of a challenge when it comes to breathing? What's that like?
I think it's maybe a benefit, or like it's a good thing, rather than most people would think it's harder for us to do it. But I think it's easier because of the natural like seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't know. I haven't done it in another place, so I don't know how it is to breed ball pythons in Florida or whatever. So for
Yeah.
me, it's just normal in the way it is. But it's the biggest thing is when you're like transporting, going to shows or whatever. If the car breaks down and it's like 25 minus, that's pretty bad. But you plan for it and have like safety, like heat packs and everything with you. But
Mm-hmm.
so just for keeping like the biggest like problem over here is the air gets too dry in the winter. But
Okay.
that's pretty easy to like fix, by spraying
Yeah.
or humidify or whatever.
Fire. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Do you guys have a lot of shows in Sweden?
I'm not the right person to ask, but I think we have 3 different locations, but they're very small and very, very hobby. What's it
Yeah, for
called?
pet trade mostly,
Yeah,
right? Okay, cool.
yeah,
So, do you travel to shows normally? Like here, for example, would you go to Ham or Houghton normally, or?
yeah. I've have been, but it's pretty rare for me to go over there. I have 20 hours one way. I know you have a long way to the European shows, but yeah. So usually I sell most of my snakes like on export or whatever. So I go direct to the exporter and not to the shows most of the times. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's, pre-sold animals or whatever and like deliver outside the show. But usually I'm not inside the show. Unfortunately, I probably should be better at being more in public and speak to people and everything, but that's something I need to work on, I think.
Yeah, me too, man. For sure, me too. I mean, I want to go. I just it's hard for me. Yeah, to get there, and it costs a lot of money, and yeah, then I have leaving the family and stuff like that. So yeah, because we're always so busy. You know yourself. If you have kids,
Yeah,
like school and then home, and then one has to go to like football practice, another one has to go to, I don't know, gymnastics
mm,
or whatever, and you're just going back and forth every single
yeah.
day of the week. But yeah, anyway,
For
but
for me, the one of the biggest like things that I've never vended a show um, so far, but for me, crossing borders is like the biggest issue, and the Swedish and Danish border are like the worst. It feels like the border control don't know what the rules themselves. You get different answers
yeah,
for every person you ask. So I heard of people that got animals confiscated and everything, even though it's like their own and they have all the papers and
legal.
everything, but just because they don't know what to do with it. So it's like you dread to cross borders every time.
Yeah, I know the feeling because obviously, we have to cross Spain if we want to go anywhere in Europe,
Hmm.
basically, by car, obviously. So, and
Yeah,
in Spain, ball pythons are now illegal. So every time we go, it's like, you're praying that the police don't stop you. And then if they do stop you, then you're praying that they'll listen to your story and they'll believe the documents, where they're going and all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Because yeah, I think it's just one of those things. It's just waiting to happen for you to get the wrong guy in the wrong day, and then they just confiscate everything. And then yeah,
exactly.
um, yeah, but cool. So what about like being in Sweden alone as a breeder? Because you said, well, obviously you're selling to mostly exports. So is reptile keeping a big thing in those Nordic countries, or is it not so common?
I don't know really. At least like up and down, but uh, sure, there's a lot of people who are like into reptiles and stuff, but it's
Hmm.
very pet level everything I've seen so far. And but I'm not like um, too into the Swedish community or whatever. Like I don't know too many over here. Like so, like I said, I have mostly like American friends and like some European and not too many
Yeah,
Swedish.
so yeah, you wouldn't sell like, I don't know, you're like wholesale to a pet shop or anything like that in Sweden? No.
No, no.
Okay. Yeah. No, just wondered.
I can't
Um
remember the last time I saw a snake in Sweden actually.
yeah,
I don't even try, you know.
yeah. You're just spreading your seed all over the world, right?
Yeah, it's easier to deal with most international customer than the Swedish customers.
Yeah. Okay. So do you think then, obviously, because you're, I'm assuming you're selling worldwide, right? So you're exporting to the States, Europe, Asia,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, everybody's talking about, ball python market being dead or, whatever. So, like, how do you see it being someone that sells to everywhere in the world? Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it sideways? What's your opinion and what's your take on it?
Um, I think it's sideways slightly up right now.
Cool.
I didn't post a single snake and morph market for 2025, and I'm sold out right now. So if that tells you anything, uh, but it's so like you can't say it's hard because if you're selling cars or whatever, and the business is bad, it's maybe not because the car industry is bad. So
Mm,
it's so dependent on
who it
the
is.
person behind it.
Yeah.
Not trying to like say that I'm the best person in the world, but it's so hard for even 10 different breeders to compare the market because it's different for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
And the projects are like in demand different years and everything, and then they come back and then they go down. And so it depends so much on what project you are in, what year, and like your contacts and everything. But
Mhm.
in general, I see the market starting to pick up again.
Picking up again. Cool. I want to get into some comments because we have some questions here from YouTube. So, Andy saying, tell us something else you would like to improve in.
Yeah, okay,
I think,
social media for sure.
yeah, social. That kind of ties into his next question. Like, so how do you market yourself to sell internationally, and what is your best platform for sales?
Mostly the animals do the marketing, and then
Cool.
I'm behind them uh, as a very professional, uh, polite, good person who's easy to
Hmm.
work with, and happy to like help my customers to maybe get something more out of their projects than they probably had in mind from the first place. So
Yeah.
if someone inquires of a snake, I usually ask them like, okay, what are your plans and what you want to do with it, and like what's your collection right now. And let's say they work in clowns, for example, and they have a lot of Leo clowns. That's maybe not the most preferable or like what you would like in like, what's popular right now. But then I would ask like steer them in a direction of what's good with that, like highway, probably highway Leo clowns are nice, or like highway and Leo in general. So something like that, or I would show them a cool combo that I made that I haven't shown for anyone earlier, that make them feel like special, and I can give them new ideas that they didn't know were like possible. So that makes, I don't know, that's an
Makes a
important
difference.
thing. Yeah, that makes a big difference when you're like dealing with customers.
Yeah. And I know myself as a obviously as a buyer, if I message someone about something and they go that extra step, even if it's just an inquiry on Morph Market, if they go the extra step, then it's like, okay, if I do buy, it's going to be from this guy because he knows, what I'm going through. He knows what I feel and stuff like that. Whereas if you inquire someone on Morph Market, says like, how much is a snake? And they respond with, I don't know, 1,000 euros and nothing else. It's like,
Mm.
yeah, okay, thanks. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's also like you say, right? Because it it depends on the person trying to make the sale, I guess,
Yeah,
because a lot of people don't find the need to market themselves so much because they think that the animals do the talking for the people, and
yeah,
maybe they've had success up until now, so they just continue to go that way.
yeah,
But yeah, I really I like the going one step beyond kind of thing, taking the extra step. um yeah,
yes. And be
it's
honest. Don't just like try to steer them into a direction just to make the sales, but
yeah,
like be honest. If it's not a good direction, don't like
yeah,
tell them it's a good direction.
yeah, no, it's absolutely. I mean, I've had a few people message me, like Portugal. I mean, the pet trade is not even big, and people don't like spending money, but people will message me like, say, I don't know, I want a pite, and straight away I'm like, okay, I don't have pites, I don't work with pite, but if you go to this guy, he's got pites. He works with pites. He might be able to help you. And then I'll be like, oh, why do you want specifically a yellow bellied pite? And
Mm,
this happened recently, and it was actually a woman, and she was like, oh, because I have, I don't know, something like a leopard pied head clown, and I want to make more pies. And I was like, well, if you've already got something that's head clown, then why don't you get a clown pied instead of just a pied? I mean, the price
yeah,
difference will be a little bit, but if you're going to breed them, it makes sense to take the extra step. Otherwise, you'll regret it in the future. So yeah,
yeah,
it's little things like that, And she was like, oh, she was very helpful. Not helpful. She was very happy with how helpful I
yeah.
was, and I was happy just reading that, reading that text message. Oh, thanks so much for your help. You're so nice and stuff. It makes me feel good, even though I didn't make a sale, which I wouldn't have made a
Yeah.
sale anyway. But
I
maybe in the
think,
future, if she tries to change, maybe she'll change projects. And I don't know, she'll turn into Ultimate Clowns and she'll come find me. You never know.
yeah, I think that helping, not all, mostly are not like this hardcore experienced breeder who knows exactly, and their collection are like aimed towards this goal or whatever. Most people are like in one way or another chasing a project that they have seen already. So it's very helpful to help them to see beyond the goal they had. So let's say if someone wants to make a Pompeii, just to take the example that everyone has, so they're chasing a Pompeii, and then you're like, okay, but what if you added this to that instead?
Yeah.
To just help them to see past what they've already seen and what they're aiming for. That helps them to be more like future proof.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you're a breeder, you can't just think of today or this one combo. You have to always think ahead.
Yes, but
Um,
by the time they will hit their goal is like 10 years too late.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. What was it? I don't know. It was a podcast I was listening to. I think it was actually today, and they were talking about this guy that was he was so happy that he made an albino pied, and he'd
Yeah,
been
I heard
trying
that.
for 20 years after
Mm,
buying a het pied and a het albino, and
yeah,
like for 20 years he's been trying to, and he's finally done it, and now it's like, Yeah, but it's not worth anything, right? Nobody wants that. But he was
Yeah, but
happy because it's a
yeah,
goal
for
that
sure.
he
It's
had.
the monetary like value was low, but the like I bet he felt very accomplished by hitting it
Yeah,
finally. So it
yeah.
all depends on what's your goals.
Yeah, it's like when you're a new breeder, and I don't know, you get a clutch from a female from your first clutch. It's like the first clutch you produced, and you grow up that female, and then she lays eggs, and it's like I fully made this happen. Like I hatched her as a baby,
Yeah.
and now she's all grown up, and she's yeah, that's awesome.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah.
We're we're halfway we're in the halfway mark, so just gonna take a quick little uh kind of break just to shout out my sponsor. um so guys, order your tests at proherper.com, a company trusted by more than 1,000 breeders all over the world. Any shad that arrives by Wednesday receives results by Friday the same week. Pappy Spring Pod is sponsored by Pro Harper, and we appreciate them backing the podcast. And guys, if you check out his Jurgen's posts on Instagram, you'll see that he's now doing fast track genetics. So hand over your samples at the Ham Show on Saturday, and you'll get your results by Sunday evening. Guys, that's like Amazon next day delivery for shed tests, right? Guys, that's insane. So shout out to Pro Herper for that. That's awesome. And yeah, guys, check out what he's got. He's got new pricing on the website. Um, yeah, lots of available tests for ball python genetics. Different kind of ultramales, fires. Test your hypos. Got zebra, puzzle, everything. Well, almost everything. Test your mandarins, and yeah, guys, there's also corn snake tests for sex determination, microscale, and scaleless. And yeah, check out the prices: 35 euros between 1 and 9 animals, 30 euros per test between 10 and 49 animals, 25 euros per test for 50 plus animals, and then additional tests on the same animal is only an extra 20 euros. So great value there. Proherper.com. Check it out, guys. You all know who it is. And yeah, let's keep it going with Mats. Is that the right
Awesome.
way to say your name? Is it just Mats?
Yeah. Perfect.
What's it short for? Is it short for something?
No, that's the whole thing.
Man, that's crazy. It feels like it's short for something.
Yeah.
But
No, and in the US, I'm Matt usually.
they just say Matt. They make
Matt.
it
Yeah.
even shorter. Take out one S. Hmm.
Yeah. I think
But
it's
cool,
like
man.
I think it's Matt's High Coast Reptiles. Like my. Yeah. I don't know.
Cool. Yeah, let's get into the ball pythons and yeah, breeding and stuff. Like, tell me one horror story that you've had in your snake room while breeding. Like
Oh,
something that went really, really
that's
bad.
hard. I don't know if I can think of something. What's one horrible?
There's bound to be something. Not everything's not perfect.
Yeah, so like way, way back in time when I had
Yeah, of course.
like emeralds, they are, if the female isn't like ready or like she doesn't feel it and you introduce a male, she can like strike at him and stuff. So I ended up with a male with like pretty serious flesh wounds on the body because
Ooh.
the teeth of like emeralds
Oh
are
yeah,
super long.
huge. They're
Yeah,
the
but
biggest ones, right? For
he recovered.
non-venomous reptile.
Yeah, but he recovered fine and everything. So it ended happily, but that was like pretty stressful.
I can imagine. You pay your steaks, check on them the next morning, and your mail's there in bits. Jeez.
Yeah.
Uh, did she breed after that?
Yeah, she did, but with a different male, and like a year
Different.
after. You know, I was
Yeah.
pretty hesitant to like introduce something to her again.
I'll be sitting there outside just watching them like 24
Yeah,
7.
I kind of did, yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. Okay, so let's reverse that then, and share like what you think is one of your best moments, like one of the best stink room moments.
That's probably, you know, like the first lock of your like superstar new male, and you finally like the first lock with a female, and then you feel like you're gonna win the lottery like for a whole year.
Yeah, that's good, and that's just luck. That's not even eggs
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, for
pips
sure.
or
But that's
anything.
just like the first step
Yeah,
of like getting something from him, or like adding on top of that. And like that's every year, you know, you grow up some new breeder males and everything, and you're like excited from the day they hatch. And then,
yeah.
of course, getting eggs from them and everything, but the first lock is something special.
Yeah, I can attest to that because I have a male here that I bought in 2024. It's nothing special. He's a fire hypo double head ultra pied, and he would not lock with anyone for ages. And I mean, I was trying everything. I was trying two males in the tub, like tried the shed, tried flipping, rubbing sperm plugs on another male sperm plugs on the female, and man, I tried it all, and he just would not lock. And then this year, I paired him one day, and he like I checked on it. I was like, I just put it through him, and then I was like, what? I know he's not gonna lock, whatever. And I checked the next morning, he was locked. I was like, no!
Yeah, you know, it's awesome.
Oh,
It's the best feeling.
such a great feeling, yeah.
I find that
Um,
like putting males that won't lock is like the best thing is to put them with females with pretty good sized follicles.
yeah, females, yeah,
So the
the
female
pheromones, yeah.
female mod, yeah, she needs to be like almost seducing them, you know, because she really wants
Hmm,
it. If the female is like hiding in the corner, if you have like this super stud male, he might like push him like on her, but a new male
yeah.
wouldn't do that. So I like an old experienced female who can like show them how to do it. So that's the best thing.
I have one of those males. Yeah, my male for the Ultra Clown project, he's insane. Like I will pair him even like in the morning. If I forgot to pair him at night, like I will pair him in the morning, and I'll be sitting here working, and then I can hear him fighting the female inside the tub. And
Yeah.
actually, recently I did a video and I posted it on my Instagram, and he's like going like this and pushing her and trying to get on top of her. And he's like, "Go, boy!" And he's like, it works. Like within like 30 minutes, he's locked. Every single female I've paired him to, he just locks within minutes or hours. Like when I remember to check, done the lock. He's crazy.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's nice to have males like that, but on the other hand, I think that I like males that tell you what the female wants too. So you know, I had like a male a couple of years ago that wouldn't lock if the female wasn't like primed for it. So if I put him in and he didn't lock, I knew that okay, I need to like wait a little bit with this female because she's not ready yet. So it's like
Mm.
good and bad. You don't waste anything. You don't waste the male if it's
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. So I think you're using ultrasound, right? When you do your breeding,
Yeah.
do you also feel like how long did did it take you to get an ultrasound? Like how many years did you read before you got the ultrasound?
Uh, so like if you from the beginning, it's like 20 years before I got one, but ball pythons was maybe 5 years in. I don't need
Yeah.
it at all, but it helps, and it's a good like confirmation that you can see it on the ultrasound, what you're already, kind of know already.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I haven't got one, to be honest, and but again, I don't have that many females. I think I've got like 10 pairings going this year, and I'm using like 3 different males, 4 different
Yeah,
males actually. So I don't see the need for it because like at most one of my best male he goes to 4, 5 females at most.
yeah, that's nothing. Yeah,
So yeah,
that's easy.
I don't feel like yeah, but I get the whole you know uh get the most out of your male kind of thing, and for that you do need the ultrasound because then you can see exactly when you're gonna put them, and then maybe you pair them to that female once or twice, and that's it.
Yeah,
You don't need to
yeah,
exhaust them.
you're saving your males a lot for sure.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Cool. So going into your projects, no, actually, I have a question first. So you have in your room um terrariums for all your snakes, right? So um for the colder climate, I guess, is it better to use wood or PVC, or what are you using it then?
Yeah, so I don't, for temperature, I don't think it really matters because both wood and PVC is good insulation, But for cleaning and for the durability of the cages, the plastic is way better.
Yeah, PVC for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so I take it you have is your facility like is it a separate facility, or do you have it in your house like in a basement or
No,
something?
so yeah, so it's in a different house that we bought too. I was looking at renting a facility, but it was like too expensive, so I kind of bought a real estate building with a couple apartments in and have built it in the basement in that building, so I get some cash flow in from that instead
Yeah,
of
of
like paying
course.
someone.
That's a great
Because
idea, man. Yeah, that's how to do business. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah, to
take
have
away
some
people's
equity in
garage.
in
Yeah,
our.
take away-
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yep. So it's in the
Um,
basement in a like a house.
yeah. So yeah, take it you have air conditioning and all that kind of stuff. So the
No,
temperature
we
is
don't.
always
We don't need like that at all. We
oh,
have heating in the winter. The heat panels for the cages are like doing the room temperature, the ambient temperature. So that's
okay.
a
Oh, I
benefit
suppose
of doing it underground.
yeah, and I suppose if you live in a place that's -35 sometimes, then the buildings itself will be quite well insulated.
Yeah. So the walls are
Mm.
like 50 centimeters and that's underground on top of that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that makes sense, obviously. Um, what about the summertime then? Does it get really hot there as well, or?
Yeah, it can be, but like for a week or two, but it's usually not a problem. Uh, you know, and I've always kept them like in basement, so that's underground, so that's cooler in the summer than above ground. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but I haven't heard of anyone who had problem like in the regular out like separate building or like in the living room or whatever. It's everything under like 29 or 30 or whatever is like good for a week or
Yeah.
two, so that's no problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah, I had well,
Just
last year I had
avoid
to turn.
windows and direct sunlight.
Yeah, last year I had to turn off all the heating in my snake room because yeah, I was coming in here and at like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. when I was gonna work, and it was already like 29 degrees.
Oof.
Yeah, this room in the summer, man, it's crazy because it's at the back of the house, and because
Mm.
like sun goes right all the way behind the house, so it's taking in sunlight all day. Yeah, so it does get pretty hot. So yeah, last year in the summer, I just turned everything off completely for
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah,
Um,
I can imagine. And it's brutal to
yeah,
work in a place like that.
yeah, yeah.
But
I need
you're
a
more used to the heat than I am, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But I prefer to be cold than to be hot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
Because when you get too hot, I mean, you can't take your skin off. You know what I mean? If you're hot,
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah, for
hot.
sure.
There's nothing you can do about it. But
Easier to
if you're
get some
cold,
clothes
then
on.
you just put an extra coat on, an extra jacket, something. And
Yeah.
yeah, so but yeah, I wouldn't trade my sunny country for anything else again. Maybe a sunnier country.
Yeah, that's the way to
um,
go.
yeah. So, I mean, you did say that you're not that tied into the reptile scene in Sweden. So, what I was gonna ask you if you know many other breeders over there, or maybe not just Sweden, like Norway, Denmark, Finland.
Yeah, so I kind of maybe one or two other like breeders and that I have like contact with. Used to be a couple more, but I don't know if they got out or
Mm,
what's the deal is. But and you know, for Norway, they are not a part of EU, so they are like CITES and everything to import animals to there. But Finland is
mm,
pretty. It's like Sweden, I think, but mostly I know mostly like venomous keepers in Finland.
mm. Yeah.
So
Do you
yeah.
breed? Do you breed your own
Hmm?
rats? Or what's the rat situation
Oh
like?
no, no, no. That's even worse than breeding snakes. You know, the animal rights, it's like crazy. It's like keeping a dog.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So then, what do you do then? Do you, everything's frozen thawed, I guess?
Mm, yeah. And
Yeah.
I
Okay.
honestly prefer it.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I do frozen thaw too. I think I fed live like twice maybe to snakes that didn't eat for a long, long time.
Mm, yeah.
Um, but yeah. Um, So where do you get your rats from then? Do you have like a source close by or
So there's a guy in Stockholm who sells, and that's 6 hours from me.
okay.
But and there's a guy in what's that? Not Estonia. It was like one of those countries. It's a big rat breeder and supplier who makes like delivery trips throughout Sweden, like from southern Sweden up to the
Oh,
north. So
okay.
I usually buy from him like 2 or 3 times a year, fill up the freezers and like
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm not so unlucky because we have breeders here in Portugal, but they're a bit expensive.
mm,
We have a guy in Spain that has a big breeding facility, and he ships stuff next day, and everything's very well packed in styrofoam boxes with ice blocks and everything. So I have no complaints.
yeah.
But that's pretty interesting. A couple of questions here. Let me see. Yeah, Andy's just saying, say in German it's the same with the terrariums of frozen thawed rodents.
Yeah, yeah.
But Andy asks, how many years did it take you to get the business running smoothly and be profitable? This is Andy's favorite question.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's kind of to answer a question because when did a business actually start? You know, when I started breeding ball pythons, and was it when I was in school already, or was it like when I, from the day I was an official business on paper, you know, and everything
Yeah.
is tied together. So when was the start? but I've been profitable from day one because I was already profitable. That's like why I had to make a business from like tax reasons and everything. So from day
Hmm.
one is still like the answer, yeah, actually.
Yeah, but
And running
well,
smoothly,
yeah.
you know, it's a small operation with only me in it, so it's like up to me if it's not running smoothly and everything. So it's, I know
Yeah.
I just kept doing everything that I did for like past 20 years, so it's like wasn't a big difference more than like the paper work you had to do and everything for like all the authorities and stuff.
Yeah. So do you do this full time then, or do you have another job?
Yeah, so I kind of do it part time. I try to avoid doing it full time because I think it's a very big benefit not doing it full time because you're not dependent on it, so you can make way more. Well, you can take much higher risk, make way more aggressive like moves in the industry if you're not depending on it. But it's been close a couple times that I went full time, but so far I'm like uh, can't find a word for yeah. I'm part time. I'm working like 2 days a week in the logging industry. I've been doing that since '02,
Okay.
so it's 25 years cutting wood. You
Yeah.
know, trees. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Andy says we have to count from the years that you started breeding. I think until becoming profitable.
Okay. Yeah. So 3 years probably.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Back then was different. Oh, and that's a good question, actually. Back then, were you selling all your animals internationally already, or?
Um, no, not all. Like more in Sweden than I do now, but a lot still. You know, to Ham and Houten and stuff like that.
Mm, okay, yeah.
But
So you're
but
within
tr
Europe mostly.
but you know, US and Asia and stuff like that was, I don't know, in the beginning of 2020 probably, or maybe 19. So what's that? 6 years ago, seven, yeah.
Mm, yeah, and I'm guessing that's when you started the dive more into the higher end projects, right?
I think 16 or 17, I made my first like bought my first investment animal from Aussie. And like the first year from that, when I saw what an animal like that did to your collection, I was like, why? Why didn't I do this earlier? Oh, this is way more fun than, you know. So since 17, maybe I'm doing it like with money that people are, they think you're crazy. That kind of money, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still striving to get there. I mean, that depends who the people you talk to are, because I can tell my friends at work that I bought a snake for like, 1K, and they look at me like, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
Yeah, that's
You know,
that's what I mean.
and it's
That's my
not.
point, yeah.
Yeah,
To a
it's
regular
nothing.
person, it's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
you know, I talked to Ozzy like before I bought that snake from him and like trying to get some reassurance, like, am I like crazy? Is this stupid to do? And he was like, there's nothing I can say to like convince you or like to assure you that it's okay. You just need to like do it, try it and see for yourself. And once you have experienced it, it's like there's no way, no going back. You're gonna be a different person. And
Yeah.
he was right.
Best advice ever.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know,
Ozzy.
just put it in perspective. You know, you have friends. Doesn't matter what their in like hobby is, if it's motocross or you know cars or whatever. They are losing money every year on their hobby, and
Yep.
you know, if I spend the same money and lose it, I'm the same as them. But I have the chance to like further my projects and do something that will like be for years ahead, not just like
Mhm.
oh. go down and then buy something new, and then it's going down. It's like building up
Yeah.
something instead of, and you have the chance of maybe pay for rodents or a new snake or whatever from that, like, investment or purchase or whatever you want to like say about it. Yeah.
No,
So when you
exactly.
think about it like that, it's easy. Like that, there's no risk. Well, there's a big risk, but compared to everyone else who like buy stupid shit, there's no risk.
Yeah, exactly. That's the difference. That's why it's an investment rather than just throwing money at a hobby.
Mm.
Cool. So yeah, well, speaking of projects and stuff, if you could only keep one project for the rest of your life, what would it be?
And project is like it could be. Is it like recessive or like a
Anything.
code on gene? So
Yeah,
I would
anything.
say, like, for me it's the eccentric DD clowns right now. That, but that's probably because that's what I'm deepest
Focused
into, and
on.
my
Yeah.
my mind my mind is like spinning around that, so it's hard to like look outside your like
Yeah.
everyday thoughts, or yeah. So eccentric DD clowns combos probably would be what I focus on.
Yeah, but maybe you could answer this question. So then, because we were talking about investing in ball pythons and stuff, and what is the biggest lie that people tell themselves when they decide to start investing in high-end ball pythons?
That's hard. A lie they tell themselves when they start investing. Probably that it's going to be easy.
Okay, yeah,
It is kind of easy, but it's hard at the same time. You need to you need to be like specific enough to be unique, but you need to be like general enough to be appealing to other breeders for them to like want something that you don't, byproduct, or like what you had to sell.
yeah,
So that's a hard thing, a balance to do. There's a reason why no one works that direction, because it's bad, but at the same time, you're going to be the only one who does it. So I think and that you need to be, it's not only like throwing money at a project or on a snake or whatever, and you're going to be successful. And I think a lot of people think that it is that way, but it's hard for me to know at the same time, because I didn't start at the same time. It's like talking to Justin about things like that, how it's to become successful, because he's been successful for so long. So for him it was different than it's now. It's like starting on YouTube for 15 years ago. It's not the same as now,
mhm,
being
yeah,
successful.
exactly.
So it's kind of hard because you don't know what you don't know. But I think, yeah, a lie or something, people underestimate how hard it is. Is like to really be unique, but not crazy, because it's
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, that makes sense. Okay,
It's a good
cool.
question, but it's hard. But it's not something I think about too much.
Yeah,
So it's hard to come up with an answer quickly.
I mean, I guess if you would have asked me the question, then what I would have said probably is something along the lines of, the biggest lie you tell yourself when you start investing into high-end ball pythons, yeah, it's that it's going to be easy and that you're going to get your money back quick, because all it takes is for that male to not want to breed, maybe for a couple of years. It takes that female to reabsorb, and I don't know, you're expecting to make your money in 2, 3, 4 years time, and then it doesn't happen for 5, 6, 7, 8, or maybe
Hmm.
by the time that happens, then obviously the value of whatever you invested into has gone down. So then, yeah, you're not getting what you're expecting. So yeah,
Yeah, for
something
sure.
along
I
those
think,
lines.
yeah, I think maybe not. It's not a like a lie you tell yourself, but I think a lot of people underestimate how hard it is to hit the odds.
Yeah, they're just yeah. Hey, maybe they'll watch this podcast and learn something, right?
I can hope so.
But listen, we're almost ending because I'd like to keep it short. I'd like to keep it at an hour. And last week with Gavin from Balls to You, we went like an hour 45 minutes. That was insane. But let's try to keep it short. Very quickly. So last couple questions. What's your favorite? What's your favorite recessive and your favorite incomplete dominant or dominant?
Ooh, it used to be clown. I think it still is, but because I've worked with it so long, I'm kind of more intrigued by non-visual combos morally. I thought so if I make a head clown combo, a new combo that I haven't seen before,
Yeah,
in many times I think that's cooler than the clown version. I don't know why, but I do. So
there is some other
maybe head clown is my favorite recessive. I, I don't know. And codon, dude. I think right now it's pixel.
Okay. Yeah, you're working that pixel stuff. Nice.
Yeah, I got
Yeah, I
into
want to
that
do that.
like super early. I think I was the first person outside of US that got one from Justin. Back then
Okay.
it was EA2, not Pixel. So yeah, I'm pretty deep in that project and love what I see so far, especially from this season.
Nice, nice. Well, let's hope that you get better social media like you were saying
Hmm.
and you post some of that stuff for the rest of us to see, right?
Yeah, I'll show them when they're on eggs or something.
Nice. Cool. So what is the future then for you, Mats, and High Coast Reptiles? What's the next thing you're looking forward to?
Um, yeah, so I'm looking forward to this coming breeding season. The first locks from some crazy males and stuff like that. But you never know for the future with the regulations and everything in this country. There's some like new suggestion from even stricter rules for keeping animals. So we have to see what comes from that. But
Yeah.
I can't stop living just because of that. So that day that
What might be?
yeah. So that's basically it. Just keep doing what I'm doing and pushing projects further, like seeing what I can create.
Yeah. That's awesome. So tell me the best snake room pro tip somebody can have.
Snake room pro tip. Hmm.
What's one thing you cannot live without in your snake room? Or something that's really, really important in a snake room?
I'm gonna go with good lighting. Good lights.
Nice. Yeah.
That's really helpful and it makes for better pictures and overall comfort for like working the space.
Yeah. Lighting, that's a good one. Yeah, I've obviously because of this, I've recently dove into to lighting and stuff, and I've learned quite a bit more
Hmm.
than what I used to know. But yeah, that's a good one, man.
Yeah,
And
I'm sure there's a lot, but that was like what I come up with right now.
we had a good one last week with Gavin because he mentioned airflow,
Yeah.
and not a lot of people talk about airflow. So
Yeah, I didn't want to mention that because he said it, so I tried to come up with
yeah,
something different. Yeah,
nice.
but
That's
but
cool.
it's good. Yeah, but it's good air is very important.
Yeah, awesome, man. Yes, I guess to wrap it up, let's get into the nomination section, nomination time.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, the running team in this podcast is that the guest gets to nominate the next person. Well, not the next person to come on, but someone to come on the show.
Yeah.
Uh, it has to be European, though. I know you said you
Yeah.
have all American
Yeah,
friends,
yeah,
but
yeah. So I'm gonna nominate the Sankey Constrictors here in Sweden. That's like the only guys I keep in close contact with, and we have some projects together and stuff. They are like up and coming and doing things the right way. Two brothers from like southern Sweden. So I
I
really
don't
think you
think
should talk to them, let
wait a
them
second.
promote themselves a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think I've heard them before. Let me double check. Sorry, I'm looking down. I'm just gonna
Hmm.
check on my phone. What's his name? What's the business?
Sanke, Sanke. I'll send you a link to the Instagram or something.
Oh, it's like a constrictors.
Hmm.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't follow him, but I'm pretty sure I've seen this before. Okay. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I will. Yeah, I will do what I normally do is I will clip this section and send it directly to him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. But
Good.
yeah, man. Again, thank you so much for coming on the podcast tonight and spending a bit of time with
Thank you.
me and
It was a pleasure. Had
answering
fun.
random all these random questions.
Yeah.
um,
It's hard to be like on the spot and come up with a good answer sometimes.
yeah, of course, and well, that's the fun thing about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
See what comes to people's mind. But
Yeah.
no, it's been a blast. I really enjoyed it. It was nice to meet you and talk to you.
Same.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll meet each other in person.
Yeah,
Be cool, man.
for
And
sure. For
I
sure we will do.
really wanna get out to shows a lot more, to
Mm.
see people and interact with people. Because at the end of the day, we're here because we love animals, but we have to make it about the people,
Yeah.
because yeah, without the people, there's nothing. So yeah, man. Um, I'm gonna bring you off screen and basically say goodbye to these lovely people watching. And yeah, if
Cool.
you wanna
Yeah.
stick around to chat a little bit more, feel free. If not, man, it's been a pleasure. I really
Yeah.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And
Me too.
yeah, we'll speak soon, man. Take care. Oh man, guys, that is a wrap. Huge thank you to Mats from High Coast Reptiles for coming on and sharing so much valuable information with us today. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I love when I get to talk to people that I didn't know before. And yeah, and again, just from experience, people that are successful, and yeah, seeing what they have to say. So it was great. So, if you enjoyed this episode, please do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this with another fellow keeper or breeder. We're building this community within Europe together, and every bit of support helps us to keep the passion alive. You can find more of my work at Pappy's Premium Pythons on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Morph Market, all that kind of stuff. We're here every Friday. Gonna try and keep this at this time, 9 p.m. European, 8 p.m. GMT. And yeah, shout out to my sponsor, Pro Herper. Go check out Jurgen, proherper.com. Check out his Instagram. He's got more than Chetes. He's a breeder. So he's got a lot of fire animals out there. I mean, some of the stuff that he's working on, some of the current projects he's got they're fire. So I can't wait for this breeding season to see what he comes out with. Especially looking forward to the Neo stuff. So yeah, go check him out. And that's pretty much it, guys. Until the next time, stay focused on the passion, keep those projects moving. I'm Pappy, and I'm out.